we went through 4 updates without Surt. What was Sega doing? Anyways, the other half for Baal, I'm not gonna make a guide for this one because it's literally the same boss, exact same boss as like just few days ago, and we only have 3 more days for the guild boss, so I don't think I have time to really like try new things or whatever. So you can just watch the previous video on this boss. I'll put it on the top right corner, you can click it. This is also only an 11-day update, and there's quite a lot of content actually. They put like new trials. Of course, we got the classic SOS, we got Trials of Thorns, we have Tycoon, we have a lot of stuff. I might make guides for all of them, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, we have Resonance increase, we have Shielded Allies increase damage, and then we have Berserk stack, which just means they do more damage as you progress through the fight. Then make sure you include Guardians and Medics on the team. It's a boss gimmick, very simple. Basically has this Ragnarok stack, which is a DOT. Then you will take more DOT as you progress through the fight, but in exchange you get more damage buff. The same thing applies to the boss as well. The boss also gets the Ragnarok stack. So if you watch the SOS video for last update for the Bisha Mountain, which is the Fox SOS boss, you may recall that I use Yuki and Leon with Fox because they give the most points, they do most damage. So logically you would think that the team for this video is gonna be Cherish and Leon, because Cherish is just better version of Yuki. Well, you might be surprised that that's not the case, because we are actually using both Cherish and Yuki together, 2 shooters. Might be a little bit surprising, because I for sure thought Leon and Cherish is going to be the better team, but Yuki and Cherish is better. If you don't have Cherish, you can replace with Leon. Then with Leon, you just spam skill 2 all the way, and I'll put the relation at the end of the video. As the comparison between these two, if I'm being 100% honest, Cherish is only slightly better than Yuki, because I tried Cherish Leon, Yuki Leon. Cherish just outscored by 2 million. It's not even 5%. So if you're still wondering if you want to summon him or not, probably not. And that's also with a figure Fox team also, so it's only a small increase between these two. But a disclaimer, because I haven't tested Cherish outside of Fox team, there's a good chance that he's gonna be good there. He's definitely gonna be better than Yuki outside Fox team, but haven't tested that, so take whatever I just said with a grain of salt. But let's talk about Cherish and how he works. He is quite a simple character to understand, very like kind of basic-ish kit. So A0, at the start of battle, you get a shield, and the shield is called Knight's Protection. The interesting thing is that every time when you have the shield, anybody on the team has a shield, and they get attacked, Cherish will get 1 heroism stack, up to 2 stacks in 1 turn, and stack up to 4 times. And if you have 4 stacks, Cherish on his turn will activate Guardian of Promises and will give another like shield to your team. And when he has Guardian of Promises, it basically buffs his skill 1 and skill 2, which we're gonna talk about now. So his skill 1 is an AoE attack that does more damage to the main target and do slightly less damage to the other targets. And you have a pretty high chance of freezing the main target, and you also gain 2 heroism stacks, which is a stack that can activate the Guardian of Promises thing. And if you have the Guardian of Promises, you will increase the main target's damage taken by up to 18.4%, but you gain only 1 heroism stack if you activate this thing, right? It's an okay skill 1. The only thing that really sucks is that it's only main target. Only main target gets the debuff, so it's not really that useful. And if you're using with a Fox team, you're not even gonna use skill 1. If it's outside Fox team, maybe a skill 3, skill 1 rotation would be better. But yeah, let's move on to skill 2. Skill 2 is basically a shield to the main target, only 1 target, and also increase the defense of the target. And if the target has more than 60% HP, that target will have 50% more likely to get hit. So it is very good for Fox, right? Because he will get hit more, which is what you want. It is gonna be a little bit bad with other DPS, but it should be okay, hopefully, because the shield, the defense buff is quite a lot, so it should be able to tank. And then at the start of the next turn, he will give another shield to the same target. So just like, basically just a bunch of shields, which is good for Fox because Fox wants the shield. I'm pretty sure it's not about the HP of the shield, but it's the amount of time he gets the shield to activate the passive. Up to like 6 stacks I think. Then if you have Guardian of Promises, you will increase the HP of the shield basically, just stronger shield, which is nice but not that crazy because I don't think it activates anything for Fox. Because like I said, only like the number of times of the shield is given you activate, not the shield HP. Okay, I could be completely wrong, but from what I understand from Fox, it's just the number of time you proc the shield. Q3 is an AoE shield basically, which is very nice. And then there's another like term called Knight's Resolve. It's basically like just another term for shield. And it also increases the down point of your allies. Down point is the weakness. So if you're weak to fire, you get hit by the fire, you will not get knocked down because Cherish gives you the down points using the skill 3. Then you also get a damage buff up to 56.6% for 2 turns, which is pretty nice. Highlight is just shoot and then decrease damage taken. That's all for 2 turns. Not useful for SOS or guild bosses because they don't improve your damage. But for like a event fight, story fight, it can be useful to survive. Now for passive, first passive is just more defense and more element resistance if you have shoot, which is pretty nice. That's more survivability in general. The second passive is a very good one, but a pretty niche one, unfortunately, because this second passive is when you get attacked by an ailment and you dodge that ailment, you can get some stacks, up to 3 stacks. It can be curse, it can be spiritual like sleep, it can be curse stacks, whatever, some sort of like ailments, any ailments. If you dodge them, you get the stack. And each stack is 10% damage buff, so 30% total. And then max stacks, on top of the 30% damage buff, you also get crit damage buff of 20%, which is really good. Crit damage is always good. Unfortunately though, triggering this is not easy because you need to dodge ailments for 3 times, like 3 times in 2 turns. And for the Surt boss, the boss doesn't really use any ailment. It does use like Agidine, Maragidine, all that, but it's not really enough times. You can proc it, but it could be RNG heavy. And the minions, the Jack-o'-lantern, just spam Vajra Blast, which doesn't inflict any ailment, so it's useless. But yeah, standard rotation for Fox should be 3-2-3-2. Very simple. Then skill 1 is when you want to use maybe a non-Fox team. So yeah, let's go Revelation card to be Faith and Peace. He does need like 6,100 defense in battle, so that's a lot. Then his 4-star weapon is absolutely trash. It's just its shield increase, there's no defense increase at all, which is very dumb. Then we have the touch screen. One more thing to note, you need at least 31% SP recovery in order to use 3 skill 3 and 3 skill 2. This is a must, or else you're gonna do the rotation. Our DPS is gonna be Fox, of course. It's gonna run the Opulence and Patient, 4-star weapon, touchscreen. Then, like I said, we are actually using Yuki, surprisingly. So Yuki is pretty good with Fox, mainly because of skill 2 that can buff the defense. Skill 3 can give shoot, or skill 2 also can give shoot, but there are a lot of shoot here. Damage increase, the highlight can buff defense, unlike Cherish, because Cherish doesn't buff defense with the highlight, only give shoot. And then we have Trust and Prosperity, we need this for the highlight, plus the 4 highlight in 6 turns. 4-star weapon, set screen. For Navigator, we are using Wind. If you're wondering why I'm using Wind and not Puppet, it's very simple, because Puppet just sucks. Unfortunately, I tested in the SOS video also, Puppet is also worse than Wind for a Fox team. But yeah, Wind is just better. Then she has Resolve Labor, the 4-star event weapon, stat screen. For Dagger, I'm actually using the new Dagger. Starry Composite I have 1 duplicate already, so it's at R1. Yeah, it's useful because it gives you defense debuff. All you need is just 5 stacks. So the whole weapon works is that at the start of battle you have 10 stacks. And every time you attack, you gain 1 stack, up to 20 stacks. But after Wonder moves, you will lose 5 stacks. So with a Fox team, it's super easy to max 20 because Fox keeps auto-attacking, counter-attacking, so easy 20 stacks. Yeah, if you're using Yuki Leon, you might want to use all-in instead. I found Starry Compass to be better. It's probably because for this team, we have a lot of defense debuff already. We have 2 shooters that buff defense. So doing another defense debuff is like a diminishing return, right? Because there's too much defense debuff already, might as well debuff defense instead. And I tested it, this is better for this team specifically. For Leon Yuki team, I think all-in is probably better. And I tested it also, all-in is better than Starry Compass for Yuki and Leon. As for Persona, I'm using the new Sandal font, but I think there is some sort of bug with her or him, her, looks like a her, but yeah. She has the passive that buffs defense for shooter allies, but I don't see this like passive in the description of my characters, so I don't know if there's a bug or not. Regardless, I just run her. If you don't have her, or if you don't want to exchange for her, you can just put whatever like stat stick, like a high defense persona. It's because we're not actually gonna use her skill, it's gonna use a passive. Then we have Dionysus. We need the Rebellion and Revolution for crit damage, crit rate buff. Emerald Uzume with Mazionga. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. You need a Mabufula here, or maybe Mabufula on other characters also can. Make sure you have some sort of Ice AoE move so that you can use it on the last turn. For turn order, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 should be fine, doesn't matter. If you want, you can reset until you get all on Fox, which I did there, which is nice. It's just to increase a bit of damage on this first few counter attacks. It's very small, you can just keep it if you want, if you're lazy to reset. Oh, this feels quite bad. Okay, fine, whatever, I'll take it. Now we do Fox skill 3. And Yuki skill 2. Of defense, give shoot. Then Cherish gonna do skill 3 here. This is to give, you know, the team wide shoot. And also damage increase, which is pretty nice. Then we can do Rebellion. Buff. Want to kill us decent. Let's pray for RNG. Now we do win skill 1. Make sure attack the minion. It's because the inside actually increases the damage taken. And since the minions are slower defense, you want to prioritize on them so that I can do more damage on them. Okay, skill 2. Then we do Fox highlight here. Do some damage, and this will guarantee counter attack chance of 100% for the next 3 turns. Yeah, Yuki skill 2 again. You wanna sync Yuki skill 3 with the Fox skill 3, because that's the big damage turn, right? When skill 2 Fox, give more shield. Then we do a Mazio here from Amino Uzume. 3 shot, decent. Ideally you do want to aim at least 3 shot, 3 out of 5. Because at least Delita is at least half, right? You don't want to fail, you want to pass. I wanted to show something also. That's regarding Wander's dagger, the Starry Compass. So Wander should be at max 20 stacks. Here we go. It's because Fox keeps attacking using counter attack, so it's always like capped at 20. Every time after Wander moves, it should go down to 15 because it reduces 5 every turn. But every time you attack, you gain 1. And then when you look at the boss, you can see the Universal Astral Lab here. 14.7% defense debuff, which is nice. For our own characters, we also get some buff. It's the Astral Lab, Universal Astral Lab. Get some. Okay, these buffs are useless for Fox. Okay, but just let you know that it's there. There's 1 debuff and 2 buffs. So right now we use Win, and this is one of the rare cases where I use skill 2 Win. The reason why is because if I don't use the skill 2 now, the next auto skill 2 will activate around here, which is not ideal because Fox already uses the AoE counter attack already, right? So we want to use the skill 2 here, and then we can use another skill 3 here, which is quite ideal. And it doesn't really mess up the rotation or anything because we can still use a Win skill every turn. So we do a skill 2 here to increase damage taken. Then we do a skill 3. Using a Win skill 2 early will force another skill 2 on the last turn. I'll explain more when we get to last turn. Now with skill 3, make sure you attack the one that has shock. And it's a minion, okay, so that I can do a bit more damage. Skill 3 from Cherish. Now we can use a Win skill 3 to buff. Doesn't matter who you heal because everybody should be at max HP. With this crazy team, there are 2 shielders on the team. Then we can do Dionysus highlight. Swap to Dionysus. And then we do Revolution. Here we go, 900,000, that's good damage. And just remind you, it's only an A0 Fox, no 5-star weapon. $100,000 per attack is pretty good. Now Fox we do skill 2. 100,000, pretty good. Then Yuki skill 2 of Fox. And Cherish activate the current promise thing. Then we skill 2 off. Then we skill 1 we win. Target the minion. Then we pray for good RNG. Yonga. These 3. Okay, that's beautiful. 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. Okay. So there's also like RNG with Cherish's passive. The one where you dodge elements. Because when you get to 3 stacks, you get a crit damage buff. It is good, but unfortunately, it's quite difficult to trigger that. It depends on the boss, because the boss uses like fire attacks, like Surt uses fire attack like every other turn I think, and you have to dodge that. Sadly the Project doesn't use any fire moves, it's just some Vajra Blast. I don't think we even have a single stack right now. Let me check. Yeah, we do not have any. It's called something devotion. We highlight with Yuki, attack the one that is shocked. This will get us up to 5 stacks of Gavel. Because her A4 gives you blessing stacks, and when you get blessing stack, Yuki gets Gavel stacks. We do skill 3. Attack the one with shock again. Skill 3 will give shield, increase damage. Then we do skill 3. More shield and increase damage also. So a lot of damage increase and a lot of shield and defense. Then we do skill 3 with win. Doesn't matter who. Then Rebellion from Dionysus. This should be big damage. At least 900, maybe 950 even. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Oh! He dodged the thing! Devotion, you see the devotion? Okay, 900k, nice. I was expecting more, but okay. So just now you saw the devotion thing? Okay, here's the skill 2. If I didn't force the skill 2 just now, this final skill 2 is gonna activate on the very last section. Literally last section. Which is like useless already. Now we skill 2. Yeah, let me just show the devotion thing quick. I think I should have 2 stacks I think. Yeah, here we go, I got 2 stacks here, so it's 20% damage increase, which is nice. Now we do a skill 2 buff Fox. We still have one more Fox highlight, so we still need to buff him. And then the final skill 2. Then we do a win skill 1 here. Again, target minion. And then we sort to the Sandal Fawn. Okay, before that, to show you the bug, I'm not 100% sure if it's actually a bug. So right now you see the defense is 7905. And if you swap to Sandal Fawn, it should increase, right? 7905. Still the same. I said it should increase because of the passive. The passive literally says that increase shooter allies defense by 28%. But the defense, as you just saw, did not increase. So I don't know if it's actually a bug or not. But regardless, I'm just gonna swap to him or her, then I use the highlight. We do the last bit of damage. Okay, not really last bit, there's still one more bit of damage after this. This is a Mabufula from Sandalphon. The reason why we have Mabufula here is to, you know, activate the passive. Actually no, I don't think it matters actually. Again, never mind, regardless, that's a decent score I think. 38.5, not bad. So this is the rotation for Yuki and Leon. So free to play version without Cherish. So pretty much like it's very similar stuff, just, you know, Leon highlight here for crit damage. Or maybe Yuki highlight here is better, I don't know. It's up to you to decide I guess, for you to test. I'm not sure if Yuki or Leon highlight swap or not. Yeah, I'm using all in here. All in should be better here in Star Recon Pass because we only have one defense buffer here. But that's also for you to test if you want. You can just change the weapon, use the same exact rotation. And in the end I got like 35.8 million, which honestly isn't that big of a difference compared to the on the video. It's just 3 million. I actually did a Cherish and Leon rotation. It's only like 1 million less than the video. Not a big difference. And this is the rotation for this video.